Hey, hey,
Hey,
Hey
what's
there,
up?
hey,
neighbor.
We're on
man,
video.
man. Since we don't have a Martin, welcome to Bodega Nights. I'm Joao. um,
I'm the Ironic Gamer.
Norm from Radio Norm.
hey, that's cool. Norm's
It'd
background
been
grew
really
like,
awesome if that thing you're drinking was merch, but no.
No, no, somebody else's merch.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Wait, what's that thing behind you?
yeah. There's like a
It's a
lamp there now.
lamp.
Oh, it's a lamp. Okay, I was like wondering, what's that weird debris behind you? Oh wow, it's closer. What is that? What is this weird like art project from your high school days?
Cause they're like, rigging on me on my scary ass windows apparently. So I have to cover it
So
up
now
with
you're replaced
something.
with a scary ass art project from like when you were a child.
It
Well,
like moves forward on its own for some reason. Like, yeah, totally not scary, dude. I mean, like, I realized it was your foot, but like
Or
what
it's
got
just
I
slowly
just-
like.
it doesn't look like it on the camera, but I just hit it with my elbow and it's like,
I'm really getting
Is that
confused at how
close?
close or far that thing is. Is it massive? Is it tiny? Oh, okay. It's actually really close. I honestly thought it was like really far back behind you or something.
no,
It
no,
was
it's
small.
pretty close. I can like touch my windows.
Oh, okay. There
Ooh.
we go. Wow, I didn't realize you're that close to everything.
By the way, Bodega Nights now on video.
Yeah, you can now see what you're talking about. It doesn't have to be that much of an audio-friendly podcast, though we will try to make it audio-friendly.
Yeah, we got to stick to our roots and stuff. But that lamp was a little
It kind of caught me off guard. I just started like, what is that? I don't know why. I just noticed it now. I was like, what's that?
Like it's the new like stickman figure of horror.
I mean, at the same time, you see that I have a random, like, also photog here, which is weird thing in my background because my back's been weird. So I figured I must lay down on the hard floor.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
figuring out like what is that thing? Is that a carpet or?
Oh, I have a carpet, of course, but yeah, the back thing. Oh, it's great. Just like lay on hardwood because we're getting old.
The stuff we have to worry about now that we are on video. Like, what's in my background? What can people see?
Because of this video, I now have to shower prior the podcast
Exactly.
before all the things could be hidden away.
Right.
One of the biggest things that stops me from doing face cams for any stream is, oh no, I have to prep myself and look, appealing to people. I can't just let them believe that my voice is coming from a very well-kept individual. No.
Like that's ever stopped us before.
yeah. I mean, that's why we have the audio version, and by far and away, the audio version is a lot more downloaded than the video. Like,
Well, it's always good that,
ever since
I
we've
feel
been,
I feel like people might have seen the video figured, I don't want to see what they look like ever again. I want to stick to my
To my fantasy
head
of
canon.
cool.
I want to stick to my head canon of how everyone looks.
yeah. But like even with like no that last week was the first time that Bodega Nights as it exists now was on video, right?
Was it? Oh, okay.
Like I know we've
I was
had
not
video,
actually sure. Oh, really?
like,
Okay.
I know we've had video before. Like I remember doing like a live stream or whatever with AG for Third World Linux, and I remember there being a Bodega Nights video that was recorded in Box House, all those years ago. But like as it exists now, I think last week was the first time that we released the video on YouTube.
Yeah, we got to work on YouTube content more.
Yep. Subscribe, by the way. Subscribe to Channel 14 on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll actually be making more stuff. I'll probably be working on some things just because I need things to do.
Yeah.
Besides just like making things and like I need more things to fill up my day. And it's been great having these feels because suddenly taking breaks and weekends actually means something.
Yeah. That was
Like,
something that I completely missed. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I decided before I used to do all my things all the way until like 7 days a week. Then at the point, like, no, I'll give myself like Saturday and Sunday off. It started with Sunday off. Then at some point, like, I'll give myself Saturday off because I have other things I want to do. Like, wow, suddenly the weekend, like, oh my God, it's the weekend. I now have other things. I have free time to do other stuff. It's felt amazing. It's not like before where every single day was just free time and suddenly I just hate it. Now it's like, oh, it's actual free time. And you actually look forward to it, not just simply, no, there's nothing to do. It's like, oh, I now can do something else. It's nice. It's a nice feeling that you actually get an actual break.
Yeah, like for us, when the school year started, that was amazing. Like Fridays meant something again.
TGIF, it actually had meaning again.
That's Friday something meant.
The ancient words, TGIF. I know what they mean.
Right.
It was lost to the times before.
But then Norm, like you never actually stopped working though when the pandemic started, right? Like
The early days was worse.
but like did you have to still do like work?
But because everything was online, it's the funny thing about being here in the Philippines is no matter how digital you are, you're still run by people. So everybody had to feel like they had to prove something in the early days of the working offsite.
All right.
Like so,
They were like pushing in more hours than they normally would.
Yeah, like we had
God,
to.
that's horrible.
We had to like. It's not. It wasn't really
Are your coworkers the reason why they said people work from home is more efficient because of extended hours? Because when I heard they're like, okay, that's a lot of BS. You say extended hours, I'm pretty sure like 90% of the time is doing absolutely nothing. It's just like, yep, my clock starts now. Well, that's it.
Yeah, I say maybe I don't know. It really depends on the mentality of it, I guess. Like
So before Rona, you're already doing things in just your like shorts, no trousers.
I'm wearing shorts right now.
I think we're all wearing shorts right now. That's the thing I'm so worried about when I have to go back to the actual office. Like I actually have to have trousers on now. Like I have not used these in such a long time. What are these? Why do they cover my knees and shins? What do you mean I have to wear proper footwear?
Dude, I haven't worn socks in 6 months. That's something that blew my mind. Like when I thought about it, like I haven't worn a pair of socks in 6 months.
Same. I just have these things in my room. Like, what did I used to do with you things? How do I have so many of you?
They're gloves for your feet, Miko.
Gloves for your feet. Yeah, it was really bad though because right before the pandemic started. Well,
I got so many for Christmas.
Thing, man. Yeah,
not use them.
Actually, the thing is, I don't like getting socks for Christmas because what I do with socks is I have them sort of in batches, right? So like once a year, once every 2 years, I'll get rid of all of my old socks and then just get like.
You get rid of all your old socks?
Yeah, then get like 2 weeks worth of 2 weeks worth of identical socks. That way, I don't have to worry about matching them up.
Okay, yeah. All my socks are actually, all my main socks are identical because of that issue. But I do have gifted socks that are special and different. But it's like, oh no, I actually have to make sure you are paired up.
Yeah, right?
I'm pretty sure like majority of my actual work socks are black are just like, look, your pair has been gone long ago. You are a pair now.
Yeah, exactly.
You are now the OTP.
Right, and then say like every year, every couple of years, like a charity gets 2 weeks worth of socks.
You can give socks to charity. I felt like that's a thing that they won't accept, kind of like underwear.
I just put it in a.
Underwear is kind of like a given.
You put them in a box full of donations.
You just hide it in there. It's like freaking people like hiding metal shavings inside boxes because they know that the people won't collect it.
It's like clothes.
Though I'm way
that
too much of a
have,
pack rat
there we
to
go.
like actually give up my socks. I have socks from like freaking high school because I'm that much of a pack rat.
Dang.
Yeah.
I just thought of the charity donation box from Joao as basic loot box.
Socks and underwear. Socks and underwear. The exact thing that they burn.
At some point, it's like, sir, you have to stop sending us your garbage.
Yeah.
Sir, you're already on the list. You're not allowed in here. But yeah, socks. God. I have some really nice socks. So the best part is like I actually invested in getting these really nice, comfy work socks back in February from my Japan trip. Like that was my last time I left the country at that point. It's like, oh, these are gonna be so nice. I have never worn them. I think they're still in their containers.
Oh, that's so sad.
They're just like probably wrapped in plastic somewhere in my closet. I have no use for you.
Well, now they're gonna be perfect Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
I have stockings. I'm wondering, like, what do you think some parents might use the pandemic as an excuse to not get their kids like anything interesting from Santa? Like, Santa has to self-quarantine right now, and the elves can't work in the shop, so you might not get anything much this Christmas, just so you know. And that's their way, like, hey, we can save up in Christmas. The elves can't work because they have to do work from home, and apparently that doesn't work great. But they can send you in all these digital stuff if you like. Here's some cards you can use.
like Santa got somebody like an in-game loot box or something.
Yep. Santa sent you an in-game loot box for social distancing. He doesn't want to enter the home.
Santa got bought out by Amazon, guys.
Oh God, Amazon! I remember a year or 2 years ago they were actually having some issues because they overspent on the R&D for their logistics system. They had spent like $2 billion or so on it.
I was wondering
the point that investors and key stockholders were actually upset. Like, why did you overspend on this? Then suddenly the pandemic happened, and suddenly all that R&D became the best thing in the world.
Well,
that's the thing, man. That's the problem with publicly traded companies. Like, or publicly listed companies, you have to focus on short-term gains to maintain stock price, which is terrible.
Well, you wanted to ask people for money, so they're gonna ask for your arm and leg.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bezos has like stock in that Wuhan industry. Guys, I need to prove that my logistics made sense. Because I feel like they might actually go back to the airline industry because they had so many planes just like left back because they actually tried to be a budget airline like 5 years ago.
Amazon?
Then found out it was insane. Yeah, Amazon. They had like domestic flights that were going to be their thing, but they just found out it was just so difficult to do.
Yeah.
A lot of their planes just from passenger just became freight again because like, let's take out the chairs, we'll use it. That's why even the early part of the pandemic, they still had planes to fly around because they had their own actual planes.
I guess it really depends on how long the pandemic's gonna last and how much the planes are gonna be sold for on sale.
Oh God, so many airlines are just selling planes left and right.
Yeah.
The price of planes has just dropped. Just like the 2000 series for GPUs. Dear God, when they showed up the new GPU, the market just crashed.
This is like a perfect time to buy a new gaming PC.
Oh yeah, and right now, if you didn't build one yet, now's a great time because of the new NVIDIA stuff. Because when the NVIDIA thing came out, like, wow, you killed the entire value of my system, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with electronics. Like, if you look at the new phones that are coming out this year, they're all priced so much lower than the phones that came out from last year.
Yeah, I was really shocked. Like, this is not the normal thing. Usually they'll see them maintain a certain price or might go a little higher, and the improvement would just be just right. This was like a 50% or more improvement in so many things. Like, what happened? Like, why did the tech just suddenly jump? Is this what you did with all your free time? Like, guys, there's nothing else to do. Might as well tinker.
It's like the flagships of the upcoming generation of phones are cheaper than the mid-range of the current gen.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why just the value of things just crashed. Like, oh, okay. Oh, you just bought this thing? Oh, prepare to get really pissed about this release we're going to show you. Like, I know some people who literally bought 2080 Ti's like the month ago.
Oh,
that's so sad.
Like, people have been sending me random memes because people know that I have that setup right now. But I'm like, dude, I built this last year. I'm not going to be affected by this. This is not annoying me.
Yeah.
If you bought that last month, though.
No, God, you bought last month. You're like,
so painful, dude.
Though my favorite things right now, Nvidia, like last year, it was like Nvidia versus like AMD, and now it's Nvidia versus Nvidia. So the start out was like it
PS5
was
and the Xbox.
the meme was like Captain America and Iron Man, and then became Captain America and Captain America. Because the only one left for them to compare it with was their old things. Like, I am better than me. Like, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Though I can't wait for so many people.
Now, though.
Yeah, I can't wait though for people to buy the latest card and realize they probably can't run it on their motherboard or their system or anything else.
You're gonna need to buy a new gaming PC.
It's like the people who buy 4K screens thinking everything it will just run 4K. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Oh, here we go. It's like people that that upgrade their internet connections but still use their old crap routers.
Oh yeah, it's like, why is it still so slow? Like, do you know the term bottlenecking?
Right? It's like, oh man, I had a student in my class that was because something that I do sometimes is I ask him for a speed test, like if I hear that there's going to be trouble or whatever in the area, or if it's raining for whatever reason, right? I ask the kids to do a speed test.
Is there an explanation of that? Why does rain chase away the internet?
I don't know. But for whatever it is, right? I sometimes ask the kids for their speed test results, and there was a kid that had like 20 megs down, and I was like, oh, so you got the 20 meg plan from insert ISP here. He was like, no, so we're paying for the 50 meg plan. I'm like, okay, how near your router are you? He's like, I'm pretty near my router, sir. I need a new router.
Yeah. Or as I tell people, if you can hardwire your computer to the router, just go for it. I don't care how good your Wi-Fi card is or good your router is. If you can hardwire it, it's always better. Just connect an actual Ethernet cable. And make sure you have a good Ethernet cable. Don't get that old-ass cable, because that also might be another issue.
Another bottleneck.
I see some people being like Cat 3, Cat 4. Like, I can probably tell you why your system's not running properly. Or they have this Cat 5 when it was released. Like, yeah, that's the reason why it doesn't work well anymore.
Right, and the other, another thing that, I don't know if they're still relevant now, but power line connections are pretty good too. Like having a power line, I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
These things. It's like, with all things coming out and all, actually lots of people I see buying computers. It's kind of funny how right now, pre-built computers, like for the longest time, Macs are finally cheaper than pre-built PCs.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like, wow, this is like the 90s or early 2000s again, where the Mac was cheaper. Because the demand for PCs is so high because of everything from work from home, cast from home. It's like, it's just ridiculously expensive. Like, and the weird components that are expensive. Like, this is now expensive. Like, 8 gig RAM is expensive. But if you get 32 gig RAM, it's cheaper. Why? Because the demand for 8 gigs high, but not 32. But guess what? The price difference is so minuscule. Why? Just get the 32. I don't see where you're going to get the 8 at this point. But people don't do that. Like, oh, no, the school said I need this. Like, you can go higher if you want. Again, with all the pre-built stuff, you still build the stuff. It's still cheaper. But again, they come to realize, oh, okay, building a PC, I mean, there are some scary parts to it. I think specifically like putting your CPU and the thermal paste. I hate that part.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
It just worries me. Because everyone's like, how do you do the thermal paste? Like, I mean, you can talk to 5 people and you'll get 5 completely different answers how to do the thermal paste. But when it comes to connecting that CPU to the system, like, so what happens if you mess up?
You're gonna have to
really
buy
bad.
There goes like $300 right there.
But that's what I remember. Like, there's one thing I do have like assembled for me. It's like my motherboard with the CPU. It's like, hey, can you assemble this thing? Like, that thing, I'm so scared of it. Like, I'm not scared of putting my cooling system, all the other parts. Like, yeah, that's easy. It's like pretty much like snapping it, like that whole thing. If you can put this circle block in this circle hole, it's fine. But about the CPU part, oh no, that's like surgery right there. You messed that up, you're gone.
Yeah.
Here in Manila, we just kind of like, well, at least my experience is I just buy the parts and they assemble it in the shop in front of me.
Oh, yeah, no, you can always do that. It's just like when I do buy parts, I don't want to have to bring it back to shop. If I had it there and they can assemble it, great. But the second I buy anything new, like right now to buy some new things just because one thing I quickly learned is lots of my new equipment, my bottlenecking was bandwidth of my USB.
Really?
The data bandwidth, yeah.
So you have to buy a new USB port.
Yeah, I had to buy an entirely new USB card to run some things because I apparently overloaded my USB, my main things on the motherboard. Like, that can happen? I never had that happen to me before. So I had to buy a new USB card just to spread the bandwidth because I didn't realize there was that type of bottleneck.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, that's a bottleneck? Oh, okay. So that's interesting. But yeah, bottlenecks is something I'm hoping people will quickly learn this year and realize just because you get this type of monitor, it's not going to mean you're going to get this. Like if you buy a 4K screen, doesn't mean your cable's suddenly going to be 4K. YouTube's suddenly going to be 4K. Or if you get the latest hardware, such as the new GPU, make sure your motherboard can read it. If your motherboard is a PCI 3, guess what? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for that people to buy it and went, why is it working? This thing's broken. It's a lemon. Like, okay, no.
Right.
And
So
also,
I don't know. so much of the complaints about our telcos. I mean, some of the stuff they do is deplorable, but they're not called out for the deplorable things that they do.
But other things is simply an issue between the seat and the keyboard.
Yeah, that's usually the issue. But there's so many terrible things that our telcos do. They're never called out for it. Our internet connections are way too expensive, even though they can be faster, right?
Yes.
No, I think we do call them out on that, but it goes down to, oh no, who are you going to go to? The other one? It's like that South Park episode with that they're like, oh, it's so bad. What are you going to do?
Right, but the thing is, the things that are called out more and much louder are speed more than price.
Yeah. I think it's at the point people feel like price is just, they can't negotiate that anymore. So the release, can you just give us what we're paying for? At least now, apparently, some that try to give you 80% of your speed, which I don't know how true that is because I see my speed drop to below 50%.
Oh, and another thing that really pisses me off. There appears to be they don't seem to be educating their consumers about the difference between wireless and wired internet connections.
Really?
Really? Oh, okay.
I don't know. It feels like it because like a lot of the people that I work with, when they talk about their internet connections, they always talk about their wireless internet connection that it looks like a router, but then it's got like a little SIM card in there, right?
Oh, like that oversized dongle thing.
I think. Are you talking about how it might be about the branding? How they still call it fiber, even though it's a wireless
stuff like that.
Yeah, the LTE thing. It's just when I saw
Fiber
that. I was
LTE.
like,
that.
yeah, it's just an oversized dongle.
Exactly, and stuff like how they call cable broadband fiber, things like that.
It's not. Fiber is very specific. Same with the cable broadband. Generally, when you go cable broadband, you assume it's the old DSL tech. When you go fiber, you assume it has to be a fiber optic.
Yeah, or something like that. Basically, they aren't labeling their products properly.
Yeah, I remember that. It annoys me. That's why I end up
worse.
reading so much fine print.
Globe is much worse than Globe is much worse than PLDT at this.
But yeah, it's annoying. But for me at this point, as long as they give close enough to the speed I demand, I mean, I guess it's the best I can hope for because the pricing, until that third telco comes in place, I don't see them doing anything.
Actually,
this mystical third telco is sort of active now.
well, here's the thing, right? The third telco that's supposed to show up isn't going to be a direct competitor to PLDT and Globe wired.
Oh, okay.
Ditto is coming in as a mobile player.
Like 4G, 5G thing? Or
Yes.
is it
That's
direct to towers?
Yeah, so the direct competition is Smart and Globe Mobile.
Wireless.
Well, I mean, they're providing 5G towers. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Should be
Because at
faster
this point,
than-
that's the most sensible thing. Because one of the biggest blocks for anyone coming in was the infrastructure. Because
we're an
laying down
archipelago.
actual wire is annoying and it's problematic. And the newer tech, at least with 4G or 5G towers, at least bypasses the whole. I have to lay how much kilometers of wire to make this work.
Yeah, but the third telco isn't coming in as fiber optic or a broadband.
If they come in with 5G
Broadband,
speed,
whatever.
then consistently, then that might be a good thing. At least
Like the 5G, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure we're not
definitely.
going to get the top 5G, but the ceiling's so high that we're probably going to get so many options.
What's his name? Onorico is getting gigabit 5G in Makati.
Nice.
Makati.
Because 5G is supposed to go to 10, right? 10
Yeah,
10
yeah.
gigabit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. If they can offer me a 10 gigabit connection at the price of my current thing, I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
I will probably never even notice that the speed went down.
Right. Like, even if we're getting but then, y'all remember when we were like,
I remember 56 kbps.
I remember
remember
when we were like,
256.
oh man, if I had like 5 gigabit, or if I had 5 megabits, that would be like insane. I wouldn't be able to feel, I wouldn't be able to feel like 50% of that going down. I'm like, okay, but then.
Oh,
now
yeah. Back in the day
like
when things were
20.
small.
Right? So it's one of those things that the faster the average world internet connection speed is, the bigger stuff is going to be, which is
Not just that. I think another thing is you just get so used to a sort of speed that suddenly anything below it feels so ridiculously slow. Like in my household, we probably have one of the fastest speeds in the area. And when it drops to just below half that, we feel it. And even though the average person, like, dude, I'd kill for like 1/8 your speed.
yeah. So there.
But we're just so used to that. Like, my folks, they can't watch not 4K. Like, 1080p is like their minimum thing. And for them, like, they like the ability that they can go back and forth on Netflix. Like, oh, I'm right here, and there's 0 load time. Like, when they see the buffering thing, they get confused. Like, what's there? What's going on?
What is that bar?
What is that? It looks like whatever.
Yeah, the weird, like, buffering. The first time
Miko,
my
the
folks
TV
saw
is
that was
broken.
when we were on a trip, like, a long time ago, and I'd set up in the hotel. Like, they went, what's that? Like, it's buffering. What is buffering?
Oh yeah, because you guys had the fast connection before Netflix was the norm
Yep.
in the Philippines. Yeah, or before streaming was the norm in the Philippines. Right? Yeah, I get it.
So for them, they felt like when they saw these things, like, oh, funny, fast
Norma.
feels so slow.
What's up, man? Hey.
Even like what my mom used to do, like before she went to the office, she would get all her magazines, like her digital magazines, and she'd do it like she would not like the average person, like, oh, I'm going to make sure I update all my stuff tonight, so in the morning it'll be fine. No, what does my mom do? She goes to her table, clicks get the magazines, and she expects it to be all done by the time she walks out the door.
Wow.
That's the thing, that she's just so used to that, though, when the speed goes just a little slow, it's like, what's wrong with the internet? Like, so it's one part like data becomes bigger, and the other part is you're just used to this weird level of normalcy that anything below it suddenly feels like, how can you survive with this?
Yeah.
What do you mean you have 2-digit speeds?
Yeah, that's one of those things about being human, huh?
Yeah.
Like once you reach a certain, or once you get
Comfort
used to
level.
something,
Yeah.
Once you
You
get
set a sort of comfort level. Like once it goes below it, you feel like, oh, this hurts so bad.
yeah.
It's like when you get off sugar for like a month or 2 months, and you come back, like the smallest amount just tastes like so intense.
Yes. Yeah, or
I
those
guess this
people
was-
that stop eating rice.
Oh yeah, when they come back. I mean, for the diets and stuff, and we come back. I remember that when I had like that diet like 3-4 years ago because of my heart, where I had 40 days of absolutely no carbs.
Ooh.
When day 41, when I could have carbs again, dear God, it was like the most powerful thing I've ever had in me. It's like, oh, what is this power? It's like Cooking Master Boy or like Food Wars. I understand now.
What were you saying, Norm? You were about to
energy.
say something?
No. I was like back to the internet feed. I just remember back in college, everybody was like, "Why don't you watch it on YouTube? This new music video came out," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna wait 20 minutes to watch a 3-minute video.
Yeah, dude.
You show me the video."
Oh yeah,
I
because
gotta load
back
it on
then
my
we had to
computer.
wait for it to load before we even watch it. Like, yeah, let's let load like halfway through, then we'll watch this.
Yes.
Or like or even
Kids
earlier
these
when
days won't know.
we had to wait overnight to get an MP3. Oh man.
High
And
school
cloud.
was like,
It's like, why don't you use the
singing guys
cloud?
to
Because I
burn-
need it now. The idea of cloud computing. Why would you upload it? It'll take forever to get it back. The
They
strange
upload the
olden
PowerPoint
days.
presentation. It's 60 megabytes. No.
Oh, dude.
Back when USBs were like super essential and not just like disposable items. I'm still weirded out by the fact that a USB stick is now essentially a consumable item. I remember back in like high school or even in the early parts of university where this you made sure you got your USB back because it was such a difficult thing to get. Now it's like
Yeah.
whatever. I have like another one somewhere here in the side.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably have 1 or 2 USB sticks just laying around here in this room.
I'm pretty sure the USBs were like at the time when we were in college. It was like swag. Like, oh, mine is this big.
Oh yeah,
Mine
it's like
has
I have
this
a 32
capacity.
MB one. I have a 64 MB one. Like, oh, mine's 128 MB. Now my freaking biggest like USB stick's like 128 gigs. It's literally bigger
Yeah.
than my first laptop I used for university.
I got like a flash drive with altered carbon, so it's like the memory
Oh,
stick.
that's cool.
It's fine.
Man, where's my
Oh, that's cool.
I don't
Yeah.
have flash drive.
Pretty
My,
cool.
I just realized my freaking latest USB is not even USB 3. It's USB 3.1.
Can't find my flash
3.1?
drive. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I have
What the
USB
heck?
3.1 and USB 3.2 here.
What's a
3.2 is
3.1?
normally known as USB-C. Then there's USB 3.1,
Oh.
which is faster, yes, and I only have like 2 devices that use it.
So it's like Cat 5 and Cat 5e or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
No, I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wonder like is it gonna be like another 2 years before we fully transition to USB-C for everything, or
We're slowly getting there, but the problem with
I really
USB-C is I like it because no matter where no matter how you stick it in, it'll go in. Problem is
Yeah.
they're not the same. People think they're all the same. No, they're not. Like a data wire, a energy wire, all these they're
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
And it's like annoys me. That's why if you get like I think it's the Huawei one, like the Huawei ones don't work with other things because it's meant for that phone. If you
Yeah,
get like
yeah.
the Huawei charger, you can't actually charge other stuff with it.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, like, like charging cables, data cables, they look the same, but they're not. It's really annoying. I wish they'd come up with like a standard that had like color.
Yeah, at least that's,
Like,
like, oh, this
blue.
is just for this is just this, or
Yeah.
they can do both. But no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we sort of agreed in some point of an actual way to use one that
Plug
USB
it
is
in.
getting popular and not that, okay, at least we agreed on the input. Now, can you agree to what it does, please?
Yeah. You know, I'm still like really amazed at USB. Like it was something that brought pretty much the entire world together, with the exception of Apple, right? Like,
Yes, I'm the Apple guy here.
yeah, I mean, with the exception of Apple, USB was the standard that everybody was able to get behind. And well, the thing that Apple had going for it was something that USB-C kind of fixed, right? Because like the one thing that I always loved about Apple's Firewire,
Yeah, the connectors and things. The general connectors. Like, if it didn't have a specific shape that I had to go in, it could go in any direction.
yeah,
Like,
right?
even
You
their
could
power
just-
cables.
You could flip it over. That was the thing that I really loved, that I really liked about Apple, and USB-C kind of solved that problem. It's got a slew of new problems, but at least
It
that
introduced more
quality
problems.
of life,
We fixed this thing, and now let's introduce you to more.
right? But at least that quality of life thing was like fixed. So
I don't have to spend that extra second to flip it around over and over again.
right? Like, for the most part, right? For the most part, when you have like a computer or whatever, and you have like a USB, uh, if you see the USB logo, supposedly that indicates like the direction, but that isn't like 100% of the time true,
Yep.
which pisses me off to no end.
It's like those really small like annoyances. Like people think this is a first world problem. No. Now it's a global problem because we all have this.
Yeah.
A long time ago, maybe it was a first world problem, but no. So that's what did we do? We invented something like this, just so we could stick it in no matter how.
Oh,
And what do you do with this?
making
We
use
use
of-
this to get a hub.
making use of video.
I'm actually surprised
I'm
what the
just charging
USB-C
my phone.
did. I'm actually shocked that you can use it for all these things.
Right? It's insane. But like going back to flash drives though, I can't believe how right Apple was again. It kind of annoys me.
How right Apple was about what?
I mean they were right and wrong. Remember when the first iMac came out? That thing with the big candy looking whatever, right? What was
Man, I love
remarkable
those.
about the thing that was so remarkable about the iMac was that it didn't have a floppy disk drive,
Yep.
right? And that was something
And
that
my modern thing has no CD drive.
right. I mean, people were up in arms about that, and Apple was saying like, "No, dude, people aren't going to use the floppy disk drive. CDs are the future." And eventually, they were right. And then when
At
it
some
came
point,
to,
they removed the CD drives.
when Apple removed their CD drive, people were up in arms. But then eventually, everybody just got rid of optical media, and USB was sort of the same thing, right? Apple was like, "We're not going to have USB ports." Why? Because everything is going to be on the cloud, yo. And they were right. But it still pisses me off that they don't have USB inputs on their laptops.
Yep. That annoys the heck out of me. My mom recently got a laptop and looked at what the heck is this? If I had this, I'd be so pissed right now. Well, it has its two USB-Cs and that's it. Like, what do I do with you?
Yeah, my girlfriend got an iMac last year. No, not an iMac. She got the new MacBook Air last year, and it has like two USB-C ports. Like, what are you gonna do with this? And like right now, I have 1, 2.
I need more than 2 USB ports now.
Right, we need more than 2.
I mean, right now on my system, I have 1, 2, 3,
4,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, excluding my hubs. And I use them all.
Right, so
It's you, Miko. So I fully expect you to need like 32 USB-C high-end.
You're not wrong. I have
for
hubs on
like a
hubs on hubs on hubs. I am.
Octo-hub,
If these were,
hub.
if this was like outlets, I am living in a fire hazard. This is what the
USB hub.
picture. This is a bit like you don't want to see my you don't want to see my wire management. My wire
like
management. If no one can see it, is it really a problem?
It's
Right,
like the
that's what I
human
love about
centipede,
this.
except USB hubs.
that's what I love about this. Like people can't see the rest of my room, which is just
Oh,
a complete
Oh yeah, we
mess,
just have the viewing area,
right.
which at this point, I mean,
I
for me, it's
completely
literally
love
just a
it, dude.
corner because my computer's up here.
Right, but it's quite nice because that's like a bed, not my bed. It used to be my grandmother's bed. She died in this room, which is pretty cool as well. So if you see like something moving in the background, that's my grandmother getting mad at me. But then like there's a lot of stuff there. There's a freaking bench in my room. Well, in my office. I have
Why do you have a
idea
bench?
why this- It's got stuff on it. old test.
was that the bench?
We got old test papers. Various electronics, a couple of books.
Actually, every time we do like recordings and stuff, and I see the back, like, man, my wall is so boring. I literally have nothing there. There were supposed to be things up there, but Rona happened, and suddenly I had to change all my building plans.
Yeah.
This thing was supposed to be my freedom wall. If you're here, you just see freedoms upon freedoms upon freedoms. What I mean by that, just guns, 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 and more guns.
Or it could have been. Oh, I don't know. I really like this thing. I really like the pickaxe.
The Minecraft for Fernando.
Yeah. Actually, something I want to get is what is it? A torch. I want to get one of those torches.
Oh yeah, you can find those. Those are pretty cool. The one that actually lights up, or the one that's just like the decor one.
The one that lights up, but I'm not sure where to put it.
I mean, against the wall, there's a hook. It's pretty cool. I like how it's battery powered, so you can put it on the wall, pick it up, and just take it with you.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking about
Minecraft torch. You can just put it next to the pickaxe, I guess.
Yeah.
No. The problem about this, it doesn't. It really sticks out. Like it sticks out the wall.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
it's like this.
It's like actually, it looks like how it is in the game.
Yeah.
So we switch it out with the poster on Joao's right.
Actually, yeah, you can switch it out with that one over there.
So TCC, just like this phallic thing sticking out the wall.
Yeah, like coming into my ear.
You'd have like a parallel.
And you just have you just have it tied up with a button here. Every time you have an idea, you just press it. Ding!
Actually, I really that green light in the back. That's one of those like you can change the color on that thing, and that was
that's cool.
Specifically. That was specifically for stuff like that, like when I'm handling a class, right? Like, I wanted it to be
like what when you have to super serious, you just change the tone.
Yeah. So something along the lines of like, all right, I'm getting angry, and then it gets like
starts turning red.
You know,
as the students answering, just see the color changing. Oh, I'm going wrong.
Or if
it's like queuing. I better change my answer really fast right now.
Right? Or if they get the right answer, it's like yay, celebratory like colored lights and stuff. You know, and then just something a little bit more neutral for like.
Well, at least it gives you a bit more interaction. I mean, those are things I do enjoy when people do put a little bit of interactive stuff. Which is probably the reason why I don't like doing face cams is I really just have a boring stuff behind me. At this point, the camera's mainly because of Zoom, talking to people. Other than that, like I don't feel comfortable people just staring into a blank wall, a random 2 sets of couches.
Yeah, well,
it feels like I'm in a living room because everything that's interesting is like over here, all off frame.
What do you use the NVIDIA cut you out of the frame without a green screen?
I mean, I could do that, yeah.
Thing?
Then, well, I'll just like focus on the other part of the room and that's all show off. Look at these cool things behind me. I have a green screen to show the other side of my room.
Actually, right? There was
so much work to just do that.
there was a time that just for fun, that's what I did, right? Like I took a picture of my background and used the green screen to
just
show my background.
Like, haha.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because of all of the blur back there, it doesn't even seem like it's a real background. So what the hell?
No, talking about that thing. That's actually one thing I did find interesting about the new NVIDIA card. Apparently, it has enough the AI in it can now differentiate foreground and background, and you can actually crop out the background without the green screen.
I mean, like Zoom can do the same thing.
Yeah, it can. It's just this was again. It's just interesting because why is my video card doing this? Again, the same way I was so astounded. Why is my video card now processing my audio? I mean, right now, as I'm talking, this audio you're hearing is processed through the video card. I'm saying, why is this a thing? Why did they decide to do this? I mean, I appreciate it, but it seems to be so off-brand to say, hey, we're going to give you the best video ever. Oh, and we can also do audio stuff now. Like, why?
Might as well just monopolize the entire market.
We are now taking everything.
But also, you know, standard
I also don't remember last time I bought
PCs
soundcard.
are horrible.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Like they might as well like we're gonna go ahead and do this because you don't really have much options.
Actually, I don't even recall.
Whoa,
we have a Martin.
Hey, happy Rusev Day.
I hope you got the text. So how you guys been?
We have a text.
Hey, it's Martin. Okay.
Good.
Hey man, looks like we're not. Looks like we're using the Zoom call for like the audio as well.
We're using
okay,
ours.
there. Now I see. Now I see the text message. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Now you see it. You can't see me, but you see it.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to edit this now. Anyway.
Because
How are
Audacity
you?
for Martin's probably off.
So I'm a few minutes removed from the recording of Third World Gaming, which will be releasing in 3 weeks or 2 weeks from now, from the drop of this episode. Have you guys been talking about Filipinx? Because I saw something very interesting right now.
Oh, here we go.
Very interesting.
Oh, we're
Very
going there.
interesting.
We were just talking about the fun thing about NVIDIA and how their video cards do audio, but now we're going to the real controversy. The
Wait,
Pinix
we can
and
go-
the Filipinx.
We can go to the NVIDIA again because I saw a recent meme. Sony and Xbox are saying,
no.
"You give the price, you give the price first. No, you go first." NVIDIA gives the prices of all the RXs.
No, my favorite NVIDIA meme is still Captain America and Iron Man, which is Iron Man's AMD and Captain America is NVIDIA. The next one is past Captain America and current Captain America's because it's NVIDIA comparing with NVIDIA.
Oh my god!
That's not my favorite meme. Like, yes, this is how it's gone. I have
Like
lost
how-
all my competitors. Now I compare myself with me.
Wait, what were you
We're
saying?
going
man?
to ask you to subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes, so we can have NVIDIA at least the 499 one, the
Click on that subscribe button.
The 3070?
Yeah, the 3070. Yeah, we're good with 3070.
Norman's not making
Hit the bell.
right button on the video. No, not gonna happen.
Putting annotations right now.
There, there's a button down there somewhere. Press that one.
No, no. Down
We'll be honest, we don't know where the
Down
button
there.
is because right now it's here, but for all I know, YouTube will move it here,
Here,
there, everywhere. I
On
remember
my
when it used to be
t-shirt.
up here somewhere.
Wait, Norm. Hey.
As we do this, we have no idea where anyone is because the videos will be different.
No idea.
In my view, I'm in the upper right. I don't know where I am in actuality now.
Wait, I'm in the upper right. I'm Percival.
No, I'm Percival. Right of my screen.
Oh
Oh
man.
my god.
Yeah. So we were talking about like as usual COVID stuff. That seems to be like our thing on this podcast. We talk about COVID for like 45 minutes, and then talk about.
Let's see
like,
my
the past
stats. Thank you.
day for a couple of. Like,
Thank you for reminding me. Now COVID is oh my.
oh.
I guess we're extending our COVID hour.
Yeah. So, Martin, how many active
4
cases?
million.
Wait,
4
what?
million.
Wow.
4 million. Wow.
1 million.
How many?
Didn't we just have 3 million?
Yeah, I remember that last podcast.
That was like a week ago.
Your
the hell?
country knows it's not a
What the
competition, right?
hell? I
This is
know,
not part of the
right?
Olympic Games. I'm just trying to say this is not a gold medal thing.
This is not a tally for gold. Yeah. What the hell? my
Oh God! The Olympics
Wow.
was what supposed to be August or was it supposed to be July?
August.
I don't know. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be August.
Second
because
week of August, I think.
I
So
remember like
from
the
yeah.
Call of Duty has the Olympic event because like they had it planned all the time. They figured why not? Let's just do it. They just rebranded it instead of saying Olympics. It's just Games of Summer.
Games in summer.
But you
It's
see,
like,
like all the things coming out, the colors are very obviously the Olympics. It's like, is this
Yeah.
Olympics? No, it's not the Olympics.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
We're not talking about the
Yes.
summer games. We're talking about the games of summer.
Summer.
And it's time to play the game.
The game of
But yes, as Martin brought up, the controversial. I don't even know how it's pronounced because one's Filipinx and the other one's like Penix or something.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to. No,
Is it
it's
Penix
actually
or Penixi?
no. No, it's just Philippine and
it's just Philippines,
and
guys.
Pinks. I think it's something else. Apparently,
Because what I
there's
read is
a-
Penix.
Yeah, there's a weird Facebook page right now
Besides, go by.
that calls itself Filipinx for Black Lives Matter, which sounds cool, which is a good cause, I guess. But
But it goes out to what's a Filipinx?
I mean,
it's their term to
Phoenix
decolonize.
rising
themselves.
up from the
no,
shadows.
no. It comes from a. I'm going to acknowledge that it comes from
The Womenx or Minx.
it comes from the desire to
Gender neutral.
to
Gender neutral.
to be more gender neutral in the use of language. Say for example, I find myself more and more using singular they. Like when I don't want to refer to or call attention to the gender or sex of somebody that I'm talking about, I'm going to use singular they instead of he or she, right? But then the thing is, this comes, this is something that we find in a lot of very Western language. The languages of the Philippines have been very gender neutral from the very beginning. In fact, it was the introduction of Spanish and subsequently English that introduced the dichotomy in gender for like a third person, for like the third person singular, right? The whole he, she thing. That's something that comes from English or Spanish, right? But you can still see that in the psyche of the average Filipino that doesn't speak very much English or very much Spanish at all. You can still see that there isn't that he-she distinction when referring to somebody in the third person. When you listen to AG talk, he can never seem to get he-she straight.
Yeah.
Like, he will always say she when he means he. He will always say he when he means she. He'll have to stop and think about it because of the linguistic framework that he grew up with. And this is an imposition that comes from the West. And it's kind of ironic that it is another imposition coming from the West that is trying to sort of remove
a passing imposition.
Yeah. It's sort of like the Native American Indians.
We
right?
shall fix the Western influence with more Western influence.
Right? It reeks of the white man's burden. That's the thing that pisses me off about it.
Exactly.
It's like white man's burden, like 2.0, right?
We know we did this to you. Therefore, to fix it, we'll do more things to you. Please stop.
Like to be honest, right? It comes from a good place. It comes from trying to dismantle a system of oppression or whatever. But then you're trying to dismantle
the patriarchy.
Right? You're trying to dismantle a system of oppression by imposing
another
oppression.
form. Yep.
Right?
The world must know our ways of peace by force.
something like that. Something like that, right?
I still love the Bender meme.
It was it's quite funny, right? Because we don't have an X in our language, right? Like the letter X isn't the thing, and so like we
actually lots of letters are not a thing for our language,
right? So I mean, it feels like it feels a lot like let's call them Native American Indians, right? Prior to the arrival of the white man in what is now known as the United States, you had
even though Columbus discovered it. Kind of weird there.
Yeah. You have a bunch of disparate tribes, right? All of them culturally unique. And when
fighting each other.
And when the white man comes in and
third
says,
party came in, a new challenger approaches.
Right, and says, okay, you know what? All of you guys, you're all Indians. And that was something that was very improper, I guess. But then at the same time, it was something that the Native American population or the Native American Indian population could get behind as something that talks about the pre-Columbian, let's call them that, the pre-Columbian Americans as a collective. Because prior to the arrival of Europe in the Americas, they didn't have a single sort of identity as a Native American or as an Indian population, right?
Yeah, they were all pretty much separate tribes that had their own, agendas for each other.
Yeah, and then eventually they sort of got used to the idea of, you know what, There is mainstream America, your, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant sort of people, and your weird people, white educated, something democratic, like those people. And then there is us, the Indians. And then all of a sudden, along comes the white man again saying, no, we can't call you Indians. You should be Native Americans. And that doesn't seem to be as useful, the term, right? Because it isn't, it doesn't, it isn't as useful, because what is a Native American, right? Somebody that was natively from America? Somebody from a German family in the United States is not German. That person is natively American.
Yep.
What?
If you're born there and raised there, I mean, you are a native of that area.
It's like insularis or peninsularis.
It would be like calling Norm Chinese.
We know what you are.
Right? I doubt you would consider yourself Chinese.
Oh no.
Right? So,
Angry woke YouTube comments incoming.
but that's the thing, no? That's the thing. It is the West coming in in a very white man's burden sort of way, saying like, oh, people of the East, you guys are so oppressive.
Barbarians.
Okay? You have to dismantle the patriarchy. That feels so much like, oh, you people of the East, you guys are such savages. Here, have Catholicism, right? It feels like the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
again,
I gotta talk to you about Catholicism, Joao. And now it's the West who's like disowning Catholicism and saying, "Oh, people of the East, why are you so old-minded and still believe in God and Catholicism?"
You brought it here.
it's like,
Is this not what you wanted, colonial masters?
Was this not a part of the freedom package?
wait. This entire thing was your plan.
Right? But it's something that could have only come from the Filipino American community, because it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of Philippine language and culture.
And here's the funny part about the Filipino American community.
I am a proud mamser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mamser. That's the most gender neutral thing we have.
Actually,
Welcome to Ayala Center, mamser. I'm a very proud mamser.
Yes. But it's weird because that's across regions. That's from Cebu for you, Manila for me. But some Phil-Am communities have certain sects. Like, okay, it's not the Filipino club, it's the Pampanga club, or it's the Bicolano club, or the Ilocos club.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of normal. I think for anyone from any country, the same way like if two Americans met each other in a different place, they might be the Americans, but if they found out you're from the same state, it's a different thing. Same with us, like, hey, you're just more familiar.
New Yorkers Club.
Yeah.
Like the same way, I'm sure there'd be a bunch of New Yorkers, a bunch of people from Chicago, people from other areas. Same for us, like, hey, you're from Cebu. Hey, that's cool. Heck, we might have the Bisaya group, and we might have the Cebuano thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me,
That's it,
like
man.
their counter argument or their counter defense is that, well, we're not imposing it on the Filipinos in the Philippines. We just need an identity. All well and good.
This is your identity being American.
Yes, and at the same time, you.
I mean, based on the country you're in, your identity is you're American. You're in your current state, you're in your current city. Because I'm pretty sure, like my friends who stay in Alaska, my friends in Alaska don't probably jive the same way you would in California.
Well, here's
I mean, that's your identity, is where you're from.
If they feel, but then like I also see the impulse to connect with your roots, right? Like
yes.
a lot of my cousins that live in California take the whole being a Philippine.
The amount of like Philippine flag tattoos there is just like wow,
right? Like they take that seriously, and I think that's freaking amazing. But they already have a pretty cool like gender neutral identifier, the Phil-Am.
Yeah,
Phil-Am. Unless they will want to call it Fuxam. Take out the I.
We can't say that.
Fuxam. I like that, dude. That's gonna be the episode title. Fuxam, man.
And now we gotta go to the news because this is making rounds. There's a Facebook group called Filipinx for Black Lives Matter.
Filipinx
7
for
hours ago.
Blackpink.
Black Lives Matter. They said, let us over.
Actually, Blackpink would be a pretty insane group. It's like,
Yes.
Blackpink.
Yeah, Blackpink. Isn't that like a thing? Like Blackpink X or whatever?
yeah, it's the Blackpink is like a group.
Area. Yeah.
No, I mean like it's like Blackpink in your area or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
With an X.
So
yeah, with like an X at the very end. So
Yes. So
I was like, what is this?
back to
Is
the
it like
topic. Yeah. It's
is this like the Blackpink fan club?
Yeah, no, it's a Filipinx for Black Lives Matter thing. They have a post 7 hours ago that says, let us overthrow the patriarchal colonist concepts of gender-specific naming. Tito, uncle, and tita are Filipinx naming convention, and they have no room for
Do
non-black
they want to go with Titx?
folks. No, I'm getting there. Don't ruin the joke. Don't ruin it. Nigerians tackle this by greeting everyone as uncle, auntie, regardless of the gender. Let us follow our enlightened allies. And remember, hashtag Black Lives Matter. Let's overthrow the patriarchy. Hashtag decolonizing ourselves. So they have this picture, which is a concept, Titx.
I'll tell you this: if you call me a Titx, I might slap you because I feel you might be insulting me.
I know.
Like Titx,
What did you
look,
just
I
call
know I
me?
gained weight, but stop talking about them.
They've been with me my entire life, God damn it.
Close. Yeah. Example. Mom, did you greet your Titx Pinky for their birthday? Me, no, not yet. Nah.
How dare you call your tita that way?
So that was 7 hours ago, and a lot of people had an uproar like, you do know it sounds like tite. And then they replied, to the trolls that tell us that tite means penis, nice try, but you won't be able to stop our movement over misinformation. And then they used Google Translate, English penis, and it translates to Filipino, ari ng lalaki. So the next post, like a few minutes ago, they have an apology post. After consulting with our Tagalog-speaking members, they say that titi can be interpreted as penis, and we would want to avoid any negative connotations with such terms. However, the fight against hashtag white patriarchy is still on the overturn that old sexist words such as tito and tita. We improve the rest for the Filipinx folks. Hindi folks.
Let Titx rise.
Against the white patriarchy.
I like this. I'm gonna call myself.
As we hashtag decolonize and hashtag erase white supremacy from our language.
I just like to get someone goes to me. So man, how's your Titx? Oh, doing pretty great, man.
The Spanish gender influence is trans and non-binary phobic. We must move to a more inclusive culture for the 21st century. We present Titx. Hashtag fight white colonism. Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
I just love the whole thing. Going through my head is just that scene from Rogue One.
Tite on the OP. And if you guys think this is fake, we can totally share it on my screen right now. How can I share it on my screen?
Yeah, right here.
Share it on my screen right now.
We'll link it.
Okay, fine. I'll just put it on the chat. Because hashtag.
Linguistics is such a funny thing. Same way people still assume that the entire country speaks Tagalog. It doesn't. At all.
I don't know, man.
I still am annoyed how people seem to think the term Filipino and Tagalog are interchangeable. They are not.
Yeah, not necessarily. What was it though? Like when we,
It's just the funniest shit I saw this morning.
we have our word is sufficient and gender neutral enough.
Yeah.
When referring to like your aunt or uncle.
No, we don't have that
Joao.
Messiah.
Joao,
Yo.
it ends with a letter O, so it might not be gender neutral. It must have an X, so it should be Pix. Salamat.
Pix. Okay, pix.
Why the X, diba? They could have just put like another. They could have just put another vowel na lang. That's
Or they could have
not
just taken
neutral,
the vowel
diba?
out altogether.
Diba? Parang it could have been like an I, for example. Filipini,
Ki?
diba?
Filipini?
Para talagang tite.
I feel like Filipino is a whole different thing.
Right?
It's probably about Titx as well, though. Wait, so instead of Titx, it'll be Titty?
No, it'll be TITX.
yeah.
They're pushing for TITX for both Tito and Tita. So,
Yeah.
kamusta Titx Norm or Titx Miko or Titx Joao?
I'm gonna start
Don't
calling
you
myself
call me that
Titx.
again.
I'll be like,
I know.
to like my nieces and nephews. Yeah, please call me Titx.
You're not going to be invited back into the home. Yeah, stop telling your nieces and nephews to call you the big schlong.
Oh man, but it's
This is your Tito Richard.
I see what you did there.
Yep.
It's weird though, because if we really wanted to decolonize the language, I mean, the letter X is something that isn't.
We don't
part
have
of-
letter X at all.
We don't have the letter X. Actually, we should go back to using. We should be using more Baybayin. I will say that.
Baybayin or a number of there's another thing is there's so much argument on which is more correct. Like, Baybayin is one we do know about, but every area did use a slightly different alphabet.
Yeah, it was slightly different, but they're all fairly similar.
Yeah, they share lots
Like,
of
they share a lot of
a few
similarities.
letters for some weird reason are completely different, but most of it is very similar.
Yeah, and a lot of
And
them follow
they
like
did
same
like the
rules
thing
and
where they
whatnot.
tried to say that they'll make like both signs will have like English text and the native text depending on the area. That I actually found that's actually interesting. It's a little bit of your culture, a little bit of your history. I don't expect people to learn everything and know how to write it, but it's a little bit nice of your history that just show off like, oh yeah, those are our roots. That's where we're from. This
It's
is
a
our
waste of
past
money.
before things.
It's gonna be like so.
Hey, it's
confusing.
better than sand.
Oh, here we go.
Sand
better than
castles in
sand.
the sand.
Wait,
I will
you
take
bring
this
up
over
that-
sand. I'll take Sanskrit over sandy shores.
How dare you? My mental health needs white sand.
Wait, what
We
do
have
you
all
have
the
to
white
say
sand
about
here.
this, Norm? Because like, I
Oh
know
yeah,
you
you're
wanted
closer to the
mention
sand.
this.
That sand came from here. Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm still at the confusion that's gonna be caused at every reunion when they have to call Titex boy and Titex girly or Titex maid.
Oh gosh, Titx Tito. Because everyone has the Tito. But yeah, how do you feel about the sand in your bay?
Oh, I'm not sure. On the one hand, that's gonna be one less reason for me to go to Boracay.
You needed more?
On the other,
It isn't
I
sand.
mean, is it really the
Dolomite.
right time for us to be doing this?
And we're also working on the national way to greet each other, which I also didn't know had to be discussed.
Well, actually, talking about talking about the timing of it, because
Joao,
I remember
I
this
need
being
to
one
ask
of the.
It's
I remember
against
this
the
being
law
one of
now
the
if
talking
you make
points.
it wrong.
What? What's against that?
I heard the law is if you make it incorrectly, we might be punished by law about the greeting. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know, I didn't. I haven't read it.
I hope not, but that's pretty
I
crazy.
know, right?
Yeah,
So
that's-
what's next?
that's-
You're using the wrong hand. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry,
Sorry,
Titx.
Titex boy.
But then, but then talking about the
The sandy shores.
talking about the sand thing. I remember this being
We
one of the
stole
talking
might.
points. I remember this being one of the talking points to the vice president that it's the timing issue, but this has been something that's been in the book since the late 90s.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The rehabilitation of Metro Manila, the rehabilitation of Manila Bay came from
Okay.
a lawsuit from the 1990s. The decision was promulgated in 2008, and this is just but one part of, and admittedly a really stupid part of the entire rehabilitation plan. And yeah, the timing could have been better, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
Honestly,
but,
it's
but
really
at the
just a
same
timing
time,
issue.
at the same time, the thing has been overdue because this is a lawsuit from 1999.
I mean, in Filipino terms, I feel like, that's still well within our schedule, Filipino time. It's still within the century. It counts.
The thing that
got
pisses me
done.
off, the thing that pisses me off the most about this was just how stupid it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like
I was like,
that's the thing. I mean, like, yeah, I do realize that Manila Bay used to be a beach, and it'd be nice to remind people that it was once a beach. But I mean, like, I do realize that the DNR has done so much in terms of cleaning up Manila Bay. Like in 2019, they were able to significantly reduce the amount of essentially shit in Manila Bay, right? Like there was a lot less fecal matter and all of that stuff. And to credit Simatu, like, yeah, dude, that guy did pretty good there. But they probably could have used that money to, I don't know, do more stuff like get rid of more of the crap in Manila Bay to make it more swimmable, that sort of thing, right? It was a tremendous waste of money, and I realized that yeah, it has to look good or whatever, but it's like it's like that MTV show Pimp My Ride, right? Like it looks good. But if the engine of a car is still crap, it doesn't matter how nice the paint job is, right? Like that's my big issue with it, because this is something that's been in the works for quite some time. It's just that this one thing I feel could undermine a lot of the good work that's been done by the different government agencies involved in trying to clean up Manila Bay, and
especially with the quality of sand they brought in, which is not sand.
it's not sand.
It's just going to be, or you're going to end up with this
flow into the
weird
ocean.
muddy. You're going to end up with a weird muddy consistency.
Yeah, oh man, this was like the worst thing in an
wasn't even
otherwise good project.
But hey, our island got some that Manila bucks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's kind of like, why are we doing this right now? Like, okay, timing's weird, but sure, I guess, I'm a little annoyed. Everyone is so upset, but no one has made a life's a beach meme yet. I'm annoyed by that. Like, really? No one? No one has a photo of Manila Bay, like, no, life's a beach.
Wait. I want to talk about that timing thing though. When would have been a better time?
I feel like right
After the
now, but
pandemic.
especially with people, not after the pandemic, I think,
with
but
the
at least with the
Filipinx
situation where
thing?
people feel like, no. Like right now, because people feel like the government's not doing enough when it comes to some sort of COVID support, be it here, like in Cebu, which I can say is, we're annoyed because local government doesn't seem to understand that we need more passes, not like, you agree we had little passes and you need to make more. So people feel like doing this side project there are other things you want you to prioritize at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's a timing thing. It's more of like, it's not that it's the right time to do this, but you see people want a sort of thing prioritized. So maybe you should get that done first. But at the same time, I also feel like some things like being talked about, again, like the whole greeting thing. I'll be honest, unless media talked about it, I would have never known about it or cared about it.
Yeah.
Even small things like that, it's like, I don't bother me. I feel like that was just being blown up out of proportion. The Sandy thing feels like more people felt like, hey, we need this right now. You're talking about frontliners not getting this or this and this. So why are we doing this right now? Why not just push it a little bit to the back? We'll get it done. It's there on the list. But
That's
this thing
the
has to take
point.
priority at the moment. That's our feeling. That's not like we can say this has to be done after the quarantine or whichever, but more of, hey, we said that this is a problem. Can we sort this out first? It's that thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I have nothing else to add to that.
Yeah.
And
I'm so curious though how long that
Filipinx
sand will
has.
stay there and not get pulled out by the
not
baby
going-
because of.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like
it's
the
gonna-
next
Current
major storm or
occurrence.
something.
it's just gonna fall back into the ocean. It's although there is the argument, and I don't necessarily subscribe to this, but there is the argument that it's a public works project which creates employment.
I mean, I guess
Temporarily, yes.
technically it's correct.
It's a
Temporarily, yeah.
wasteful use of resources.
Because
It's not really like work that lasts a long time, but it's technically correct, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how. That's how.
it adds to the systemic problem, man. It
Wait,
adds to the systemic problem.
This is how the United States got themselves out of the Great Depression.
It was with sand.
With
No,
sand, really?
it was by temporary.
Oh yeah, with
More
work.
jobs. But here's
Well,
the
that
problem.
and also alleviating taxes of private businesses to actually let them make money. That's probably
which
one of the
is
big factors. Yeah.
which is something that BSP is supposedly
Yeah.
doing, right? Or not?
Here's the question.
I can
Not-
tell
not
you as a
just-
business
yeah.
person, that's not the case.
no, not taxes. No. Taxes are quite high.
Oh, they're finding more ways to tax us.
yeah.
more ways to
Interest
tax
rates
us.
are quite low. though.
Yes.
We see you like that Netflix.
Netflix.
Oh my god,
Oh, I
that's
just-
the dumbest
oh my God.
thing, dude.
Oh my god! I just bought a Netflix card yesterday. I have
Netflix
2
cards?
months of Netflix. Yeah, there's a prepaid
like-
card here.
The
Although-
the MTRCB
Put the
wants
code,
first
yeah.
dibs on Netflix movies.
Although I'd be so happy if they, I'd be so happy if they try to rate us. I'd be like, fuck you.
Well, as soon as I heard that pop up, I'm like, man, the need for VPNs just intensified greatly.
And remember, guys, NordVPN is your one-stop shop for your all VPN.
We're not
needs.
sponsored by
We're not
NordVPN.
sponsored by Nord. Ah!
Also, I don't
I'd love
actually
it if
suggest
they
anymore
did.
ever since they had the security breach.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Back to the. Hey, can we go back to the project thing? Since it's a project, obviously it's going to be a per project basis for the worker. So it's a temporary fix of a work. So after 2 to 3 months, they'll be unemployed again. Which goes
Wait,
back
that's
to
why they want to
the
put sand.
problems.
It gets pulled out and they do it again.
Oh, God. But what are they going to do?
Is that
in
not
between?
government? Is that not what government work is like?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you get
Every 2 to 3 months, they tear it down all over again.
and then you
And
become
it doesn't really
regularized.
matter because
yeah.
the money has been earmarked since the last budget.
Yep,
It sucks.
that's true.
It sucks because that means they got to spend it before the next budget comes in. So that's why they're railroading it to start now. And they're making all the excuses of saying, oh, it's going to help your mental health. Is it because you got it approved? That's why you're making all the excuses right now.
I feel like
That's
you're
why
not supposed to
government gotta
encouraging
spend it.
people to leave their homes.
You got
at
to
this point.
spend it.
Honestly, they should have just not made any excuses. Like, guys, of all the projects, this was the first one that was approved. So I'm sorry, but we gotta get this done before the funds get realigned somewhere else.
Actually, I completely agree with Norm because people don't know that. That's something that I think can explain away
Yes.
so many of the stupid things that have come out of our government.
Yes.
The fact
yeah.
that the fact that the money being spent this year
Yep.
during the
It has to be
pandemic
From the past.
was from the
It has to
past
be
year,
spent.
and and Congress doesn't and Congress cannot reallocate the
That-
budget
Yeah.
because that
You
would
can't.
be
You
something
can't.
really dangerous if we gave Congress that power, and that would be so much worse than dumping
Yep.
sand into
Sand
Manila Bay.
on Manila
And
Bay.
I'm 100% with Norm on this. People should know that.
And if you wonder why
problem
there's no
is-
podcast that talks about that, I feel like that podcast would be shot down so quickly by so many people by either being fake news or random this supporter.
Yeah. Because the problem
I'm
is
just telling you how the things work. I don't support this or that. I'm just saying why this is this.
And this is why I don't
It's a
explain
neutral
things like
stand,
that
guys.
here, guys. Because I have certain connections to a certain kind of work that connects itself to that. And I'll tell you,
God.
to go off from Norm's point, if you want to reallocate that, there's a deadline and there's a certain place called the DBM you have to send a budget something on, and it's going to take you a lot of weeks, a lot of days for them to analyze that and approve or disapprove that. So
Yeah,
in the interim, you're screwed either way. You're screwed to the internet trolls who are for you or the woke internet mother truckers who are against you, who are loud.
The bureaucracy.
Oh, I
What
hate
saves
the
us from that is the inefficiency.
So they got to take the L and get their ass kicked by the woke internet crowd.
It's
or
ano nga
those who
eh.
just think it's freaking ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's just
ano.
ridiculous.
But it's just really bad timing, and it's a bad way of handling it. That they're also making excuses for it.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
It's the worst.
Their PR is just so bad. Like their PR.
Not as bad as J&T, but yeah, it's bad.
J&T's
said this was a really old project.
Well, here's the thing. J&T's PR is crap. Yes, I'll give them that. But I still get my packages from Shopee after like less than a week, which is good, right?
I'm still amazed how my Amazon stuff still arrives faster.
Right? I mean, they have terrible PR, but the services are okay. Our government has terrible PR, and their services are nowhere near as good as J&T's services.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about our entire government.
Yeah,
because there are some agencies that I have so much respect for.
For those agencies that are not screwed up, can we call them not government but governments?
Government.
Government X.
They identify themselves as a competent part of government. So for the woke people, we can hate on the government, but we love the government.
What's the government? It's a thing that the wife gets.
Yes. Like I really like NEDA. NEDA is great.
I actually like the postal system. In fairness to them, they actually do what they can.
I also like
the one
NEDA because it's beside our school and it's in front of Millennia.
At least the postal office I deal with, at least I see they actually try to do their best with what they have.
Yeah, but NEDA, I really like NEDA. The DFA, I really like the DFA. Something I really love about the DFA, you can pay a little bit to expedite the shipping of your passport.
I'm glad that they just put in the whole bribery thing into just the system.
Yeah, I mean that's because they get a different carrier or courier.
Courier.
You have to pay a little bit. You have to pay a little bit more because they get the faster courier. But I wish more government agencies were like that. Like, you want the fast service, fine.
Actually, one thing I don't understand until today: why can't we get vanity plates? Why can't we just pay for the numbers we want?
Yeah,
I still understand that one.
We gotta ask the LTO about that.
There was something that worked for Indonesia that they kind of did away with because it wasn't very good. It wasn't perceived to be very good, but I think it was something that was amazing. They, in a way, institutionalized corruption. That is to say, you want to pay a bribe to get your thing to work faster. Like, here, pay a little bit of extra money, we'll give you a receipt for it.
I wonder if that chat bit of Martin shows up in the recording.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't. But there, I mean, institutionalized corruption, diba? That's something.
I mean, they made it more efficient. Look, this is how much you have to pay me to get this done.
Right?
At least you can plan before it.
Right, as opposed to having to pay your BIR under the table.
Passport expediting system, Joao. You could wait the normal 2 months, or you could pay now and get it out 30 days.
Yes, that's why I like the DFA. Now, if we could have that same sort of thing with the BIR.
We'll give you another special 2 weeks promo.
That depends on the courier. I think the courier is still DHL, or what's the last courier?
I mean, I hope it isn't J&T.
Oh, hell. I hope not. Because it depends on the courier we have. They have in contract with for a set amount of years. And it goes back to the law of bidding and contracting certain services to private companies for faster delivery of goods and services from a government entity.
I'm actually surprised it's DHL then, because usually that goes to the lowest bidder.
No, because there's now before there's a law to get it to the lowest bidder, but now they say, "Oh, that's shit. That sucks."
Yeah.
How about this?
And I dealt with government contracts. I had to go to. Yes. We had to work with the lowest bidder.
Bidding. Here's the thing now. Now, aside from being the lowest bidder, lowest bidder basta? Yes.
Still the lowest bidder.
But does it fall with your terms of reference? Let's see. Oh no, the lowest bidder does not hit this certain quality. It can't deliver the X amount of times. It can certify itself.
Okay, so they now have standards. Okay. Lowest bidder, but the lowest bidder we can afford with these standards.
But
Yeah.
it hits your ABC, your agreed something contract. Like
It
your
makes it
agreed,
easier. It makes it easier for corruption, but then if used properly, it gives us
Yes,
the
gives
passport
us.
system.
But the problem is, as discerning as you can be, some people feel like it sucks because we're taking more time. We need this delivered now. Hey, comparing Joao, I know you have a company. Let's
Comparing Joao. That's
let's
gendered
take
language.
the terms to your advantage.
Comparex.
Comparing.
So, comparings. Let's doctor the terms to your advantage, and you can also be the lowest bidder. Let's find a couple of bidders that are higher from the pool of bidders we have right now. We'll get you because it fits you, and I know you can deliver the service faster compared to these guys where we have to read all the terms and conditions. We don't have the time for that. Here, this thing, we need the ship now. So yeah, something like that.
Martin has a flash drive. That's adorable.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed that DHL is a little bit of a
No, I don't know if it's DHL.
pretty pricey.
I'm not into that. But yeah, basically, while we have that system, there are still people who want to game the system so they can get the items, they get the bidding faster, they get shit done. But at the same time, when COA checks it, they're in trouble if there's something wrong there that goes. If they check the box and say, oh, wow, this is fast. So you bypass the bidding process or the bidding window this is going to be a huge ass episode. Let's just say there are fail safes, but they can still game the fail safes in government.
Of course.
You can metagame. It's like a video game. You metagame.
Going back to DHL being kind of expensive and not the lowest bidder, though, that's why we have to pay extra if we want to get our passport in like a week.
Not true. Yeah, the price is offset by us immediately.
Yeah, and it isn't it isn't insignificant, right? It's something like 1,000 pesos more or something like that.
Yeah,
Which is
I think I paid 1.2 or 1.3 somewhere.
Not 1,000 pesos more, just 300 to 400 pesos more.
Is it? I
Check
thought I
your
paid
rates.
more than that.
Really.
Where did you pay, man? There's only two rates. The
This is
standard
for
one.
it's like
and
for
the
my
expensive
passport. I still
one.
remember
it was-
I got my passport
I don't know.
set up.
I thought it was 1,000 and 2,000.
Let's just-
or like 500 and 1,500,
just go-
something like that.
Going to the website. I can tell you
Let's
right
just go
now.
to the website. Here,
Yeah,
okay.
let's actually go to the website.
Regular, 950 pesos, 12 business days. Expedited, 1,200 pesos.
Oh, okay, that's where I got.
Okay, that's why I'm thinking
That's
1.2,
why I'm
not
telling
like
you,
1.2 more,
why are
but
you
it's
Why are you
1.2.
saying 1,000? Why are you saying
Right,
1,000? It's just a couple of hundred, man.
Yeah, there you go. Because I was thinking the amount I paid, not like how much more did I pay.
I
I
remember.
paid like 1.2 or something.
Yeah. That was it. That was it.
Come on.
That's why
It's that I've
remember
added
it.
1.2. It's like I remember I paid something like this, not like 400. But like, I wish I just paid 400.
Yeah, but
But due to COVID, obviously it's taking a longer time now. For
We
now need
other
more
delivery
money.
services. Yeah. They now need more money.
with everybody working at half capacity, it's insane.
And
Yet somehow
if you
my
wanted
Amazon
to
orders
get-
still get here within 3 days.
And people who are complaining about that stuff, like, okay, here's the deal. That place in Pasay had a COVID positive person. So would you want shit done and get them infected, or you want people not infected? So when you get your passport, you won't get COVID infected.
I
Oh,
mean,
no,
I have
we-
a contamination bin at home.
No, we don't care about people in government. We only care that
I want my
care what
item here in
happens
my
to
person.
government workers.
Yeah.
Buti nga kung mamatay ang mga government worker or mga gobyerno
Bida
dahil
yan,
sa COVID kasi mga walang, di ba? I don't know. It's this weird relationship we have with our government, right?
Well, I think it's not just that. It's also people's idea that as long as they get their things done with them, it's... I think I remember something in university. The client or your customer doesn't care how you got it done. They just want it done in the fastest, best time they can get it or something like that.
You know what the problem with the government is?
Amen.
They don't have...
So like COVID.
they don't explain
competition?
things. They don't have people
Oh, yeah.
to explain.
What?
Isn't that supposed to be an office? Is there like an office of
You see the
information?
monkey that's taking that office?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I've only heard
Here's
that
the
office
problem,
once
though.
because they popped up once in our forum. Like, this is an
You
office
see
that exists?
you see the monkey that's the presidential spokesperson?
Nope.
Oh man.
Hey guys, here's the problem. When you got people we talked about sorry.
Did we lose Martin?
My internet connection's unstable?
No,
I'm still here.
It's very
I mean,
fine.
you're fine.
It's still there.
You're here.
Oh thank
man.
God. Oh thank God.
Oh, he teleported.
The problem is people are like explaining it, but you get tired of explaining it when people on your Facebook feed are just sharing memes. Parang DDS lang din pero opposite na. Tangina tong gobyerno na to. Ano naman to? If you explain that something like the Manila
Everyone
Bay
has
thing,
free
they
time.
wouldn't
We
give a
have
shit
to
about
share
that.
the
They'll say,
memes.
I'm a taxpayer. This is where my taxes go. On the sand. Yes.
Yes.
It's also
Technically
where
not
their
wrong.
taxes go, you idiots. They also pay themselves.
Which tells
Well,
me
here's
it's
the thing, though.
office information needs to make dank memes.
Well, here's
The
here's
problem
here's
is
the problem,
too much
man.
information. People won't care. Like if
That's
I'm
why
not in the government,
we need an
I don't
office
care
of
about
dank
this, I
memes to just
want
explain
that.
to everyone what is what.
Well, they tried to do that with what's his face, the dude that looks like Peter Griffin. But
Wait, we had an
like,
office of dank memes?
Well,
that might as well be the.
we just make him into memes.
Yeah, we essentially turn
He's
him
just a
into
victim
memes.
of memes.
But I don't know, man. Like that. There was a time that he was the presidential spokesperson, and then like they got somebody else.
Wait, is this a dolphin meme guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, okay.
And
I
then
just
he
know
came
him from the
back to
dolphin
being the
meme.
presidential spokesperson. There was that time in between when there was like another dude that things were a little bit better. People were less angry. I mean, we were still quite angry
Wait,
because the
Mr.
dude that
Bird?
replaced him.
Really? That was better? Really?
I mean,
really?
you see the guy now? I mean, at least the dude that was in between was kind of an idiot, right? That dude was an idiot. Like this guy now is just evil. It's like
third world Karl Lagerfeld.
right? I mean, when I was in law school, this is the thing that disappoints me so much about Harry Roque. Right, when I was in law school, he was one of our speakers, and the way he spoke so passionately about sovereignty, and the way he spoke so passionately about the rights of indigenous peoples, etc., and how very strong his views when it came to things such as foreign intervention. Like I disagreed with him on many of those points. Foreign investment is good, etc. But the way that he talked about it with such passion was something that was like, yeah, you know, this dude would probably be out for the best of the country if ever he were put in a position where he could have some influence over policy. He's put in a position where he has some influence over policy, and all of a sudden he's kowtowing to China. Like, you know, this dude is it isn't funny because he's an idiot. It's terrible because he's a hypocrite.
That's one thing I always want that anyone I don't have to agree with you is consistency. Once that consistency is broken, it just becomes, well, I don't know what to believe about you anymore.
Yeah, that's why I really don't like this guy. Because of the insane 180 that he took with no other explanation. Like, you know, I don't know what does the current administration have on your family? Like, that's the only or you're just like you're just a showbiz moron, which is the better explanation, which means that we have showbiz moron as the presidential spokesperson.
Yeah.
Which isn't very good either. That'd be like having Chris Aquino as president.
Or Chris Aquino as a...
And on that note, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
For the latest political thing.
Channel14.com.
Because God knows that
Yes, hush
we're not
money.
going to get any support from the government.
Ah,
Hell yeah.
hey,
You're not
also to
getting
add this,
shit, Joao.
I heard
Just
that
kidding.
the police are also checking social media now.
We're calling on all the Titx and Titx. Support
Calling
our
all our
channel.
Titx, please give us Christmas money. It's the Burr months right now. Baka naman
Oh yeah,
Titx,
it's
boy.
now the Christmas
Titx,
season
baby.
because the Marichan has sang his song, and such Christmas is upon us.
No, Miko, don't you mean Titx, Jose Marichan? Whenever I see little Titx and
Oh, you can't see it at all. It's called Marichan.
on the street.
Whenever I see little Filipinx and
Phoenix.
Filipinx. Apparently we can't say boys and girls anymore because that's too gendered.
Selling
You're breaking quarantine.
Lantics
Go
in the
back, go back home.
I remember the things on the main jinx as he slinks.
But yeah, it is
Oh,
Christmas
man.
Eve now because Marichan has sung song. I can
When,
speak English, yes.
What's really funny was when Martin
He
and
sinks, man. He sinks. He sinks.
when
No,
Martin
he
and
floats.
Miko were singing, right? Norm and I were just looking, we're just spiking the camera like.
Now, right now, we're gonna join in on this.
Those I realized like lately was I didn't know Marichan had so many songs. I really grew up with that one
I
song and that
know.
was it. I thought it was like a hit single. Like Rick Astley's like, no, never gonna give you up. Apparently he had a lot of songs.
Yeah, like Rick Astley. That guy has quite a number of songs.
I don't know. I
he's
don't believe
only
that.
really known
I
for
believe he had only that one song and that's
Yeah.
it.
I remember like the Rick Roll was famous, and now some people are trying to get back on the Rick Roll train. They
I mean, Rick Roll
like
has never
something
left us.
and, like, yeah.
But they,
Actually, if
I
you
know.
want to know more,
So I'm
if you
so
want to know
happy
why Rick
people
Roll
were
hasn't left
sharing
us,
Rick Roll.
we'll actually put a link down in the description to about another thing, tell you why Rick Roll is sort of thing. Should check out that.
Yep.
link.
It'll be a Rick
roll
Roll.
video.
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to let them check the video.
Oh snap!
That's not how you
The
Rickroll,
road.
Martin.
That's not. That's why it's dying because of people like you.
Well, you know what? I have yet to get like Gotix heads.
Goat's heads. What?
Yeah. It's a goat, but since it should be gender neutral, I has to add an X on the end of the goat. So it's goats. Gotix
No, it's
head.
Goatsy.